Record.
Hello, folks.
Mic trigger. Mic lock. Button is on. Finish recording.
I'm doing a Creative Thoughts video very early on. So anyways, Creative Thoughts is basically my thoughts on the company. It's my thoughts on just general stuff, but it's more kind of a tutorial type of video. And this is more on what I've been saying on TikTok. I thought I would do the video now and put it out now since I've actually spoke about it on TikTok. And that is, don't bother buying a media company. It's a waste of time. Right now, before you click off and you're thinking, okay, we're an imaginary company, we're a pretend a fictional. I don't like the word fake. I'm doing that in a different video. I'm answering big questions, and I'm doing that. I'm doing that also today. I've got like a part 1, part 2 video, and I answer 2 or 3 questions. I was in bed when I did the video last night, but now, anyway, to get back to what we're doing. So this video is an ad agency, why you do not media buy, you do the media yourself. Well, technically, the best thing to do is to go to a media company, not a media agency. There's a difference between a media company and a media agency. A media agency basically has other companies tied to it. We're very different. We work very, very differently. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But first of all, here's the thing that you need to do, right? Go to media companies and buy the media off them. Don't buy the media off the agencies, because the agencies will buy your company because they're an agency. They'll either buy your company or buy half of it. Now, that could be good if, say, for example, you are a really small company and you are trying to grow and you want to grow really fast. Then that's the way. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick video. It's not a piece of advice. You might see get-rich-quick people going, if you want to grow, then do this. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a chair. If, for example, like a lot of these companies, a lot of these get-rich-quick people will say, if you need to grow, do this. And if you need to do this, do that. But that's not the case with this. This is more kind of, if you're small and you're wanting to grow pretty quickly within a month, then that's what you do. You reach out to media agencies, and there's nothing wrong with a media agency. I have no problem with them. If people watching this think, oh, he's got a problem with media agencies. I don't have an issue with media agencies at all. But the problem is, if you're a small company and you've got, say if you're a creative like we are, if you're a creative ad agency and you do creative strategies, you do creative, all that stuff. So say you do all the in-house stuff, you do the design, you do the everything, right? Let's say you do most of everything. You won't do literally everything because of all the costs. But say, for example, let's say you wanted to do a huge production, right? And I mean mega huge. I mean mega huge. Say companies come in, they want you to do a huge production that's mega huge. Like promoting something really big. Like the town deal, a £1 million town deal. Now there's a lot of companies that will be promoting that. It won't just be one company that does that promotion, because that is a huge promotion. And it's a promotion that big that it costs so much to run. Which is why when you see something like the Southport Town deal, there's so many people running it. Unfortunately, we don't run things that big, but we are promoting big things next year because we want to promote the community, not the town. There's a difference. I'll talk about that in another video. But say, for example, that's a really big project. It's huge. And let's just say this project's going to go everywhere. It's going to go beyond what your capabilities are. Then you would go to a media company and you would buy them for that project, because you would say, look, for this project, we need you to do this part of the project. And then, and then what you do once you've bought that piece of media, you then sell. You kind of say, right, I'm done with you, but we'll come back once there's another project. So you hand them a contract saying, look, this is how long we need you for. You need to state how long that is in the contract, and so on and so forth. Now, we were thinking of buying, we were thinking of doing media buying, but in actual fact, next year we'll be selling media, because we know a lot about media. It'd be ludicrous for us to buy us to do media buying when we know a fair bit of what we know. I mean, I know stuff about music. Andy knows stuff about design. There's going to be our next vlogcast. We're going to be talking more about that. But the whole thing is, it's like, if you've got a skill, you know how to do well, pretty well. Why would you buy another agency to do the skill that you can do? Okay, if they can polish things up, if you want a more polished production, then I would then go for media buying then. But if it's only something small, and don't forget, it depends on the size of the companies you deal with. We only deal with very small companies, law firms, restaurants, cafes, bars, salons. So they're pretty small in our eyes. But obviously, it's not saying that we wouldn't say no to a big company. But we would look at what needs doing. And also, we have goals of our own. We want to push for a community, a bigger and better community. We want to push our neighborhood. We want to see what else is in our neighborhood. We want to know if there's any businesses. We want to know if there's competition. If there isn't any competition in this neighborhood, then we reach out to somewhere else. And obviously, you have to scale everything out, how it's going to look. So that's the way it is, really. And I'll probably put out another TikTok saying, if you've got the skills, then sell those skills. Now, sell those skills to other companies, because they'll buy your skills. If you think about it, if you go to a restaurant, right? If you go to a restaurant, if you're a chef, for example, let's just say you're a chef, and you go to someone's restaurant, right? You wouldn't walk in the kitchen and start cooking, right? It's not something you would do. It's not, you wouldn't go in and chop the tomatoes for them, or you wouldn't bake the potatoes. So why would you go to another company that has your skills? Okay, maybe you might, let's flip the nail on its head. Say you're in a pub, you're a chef in a pub, and you've got limited skills per se. Another chef might come in and they might chop the tomatoes better than you. They might cook the chips better than you. But you can do other things. You can do all the, great skills. And when you team together, wow, it's still your meal that you've made for that customer. It's just someone's helped you. They've done little bits here and there. It's the same with us. We're like the chefs, if you will, when it comes to what we do and what we know. If there's something that we don't know, then we'll go to someone else and ask for the help. It's not like we wouldn't ask for the help, but we'd rather sell those skills. And that's the thing. You have to sell what you're good at. People are going to buy that. Now, what I was saying before on the agency aspect, the way we work. So the way we work is very different. We don't have, a lot of agencies have a lot of companies below and above them. We're tied to the Cherish. So in the new term, we're going to get most of the leads from Cherish. And how it will work is we're going to use that as a collaboration point. So when we want any promotions or anything, when anybody else wants promotions, they'll go there, but we'll get the work from there. Our virtual office will get it from there. Our customers will also, they'll go both places, but that's for another video. The other way we work as well is we look at what needs doing, and obviously in the new year, we'll be getting a lot of freelancers to do what we need them to do. So it may be photographers, videographers, it may be copywriters, it may be marketing, it depends, whatever needs doing. But a lot of people want to work from home. So what you do is you just give them a phone number, you just give them internet, you just give them what they need, and then when they come to you, they go, oh yeah, we like what you do here. But we consider this. You always listen to people when you do stuff. I mean, from the Cherish, we're moving our planning to the Cherish because we're going to go. I mean, I go to the Friendship Cafe there every Sunday. And we're gonna push that again. So we're gonna push what the Cherish does, and we're also gonna try and push what we do through Cherish, Reach and Connect. So any small service could come to us, and we can give them those services that we provide. Also, people can cross over and be referred to the Cherish if they so want to. But what we're hoping to do is trying to get more people and trying to get more jobs and trying to get so much more. We use half of the space. Someone else can use the other half. I mean, there's these business centres coming in. There's one in town, but there's not many in the community. And this is where a lot of these people could benefit from using a community hall. And these community halls are they're kind of cheap. If you wanted a hot desking point or an office space or a meeting point. And that's why I say the Temperance is good to go, because the costs are pretty, the prices are pretty low. It's 20 quid, which a lot of people are saying, well, I can't afford it. Well, it's the lowest it goes. And obviously with the Cherish, our prices have gone up, from a little bit. But in actual fact, there's still the 50 quid plan. The conference, to book conferences and stuff there, if you want to book conferences, and if you want to have a phone number, because we're advertising that now, you want to have a phone conference space. The conference space you would only need for once a month if you're holding conferences. And that would be, 55 quid would get you the whole centre for a day. You wouldn't want the whole centre for a day, but you might, depending on what you plan to do. But we plan to try and get more organisations using the Cherish, Reach and Connect. So back to us as an agency, what we do, we try and get small companies and we try and build a community out of those companies. We try and, it might be that it's a few companies working together or your customer base. Now, a lot of people don't understand. When people see a community, they see a chain of shops. That's what they see. And it's very materialistic to think like that. But the best thing to do is to think, if you're a materialistic person, you need to be thinking, everybody that comes into my store is $1 or £1, if you're British, or €1, whatever. They come into your store, they spend their money, they walk out your store. You have money in your pocket. And there's a lot of people now using tip jars because they need money to run their projects or companies. And there's a lot of people with money coming out and they spend that money on those projects. But another thing, a new thing that we're going to be doing over the new year is communal campaigning, which is pushing other communities, helping other communities build, helping other communities grow. The mistakes that people make when they're doing a community, which obviously you've seen my community enterprise video. I'm doing another one because it needs updating every time. It always needs that push. So anyway, that's what we do as an agency, that we're very different. We don't have any other companies tied to us. Yes, we've got a virtual office. We've got a couple actually, because we've helped someone else open an office. But that's not ours. We don't sell office spaces out, but that's something that we could do in the new year again, and hot desking points. It could make money out of that. Unfortunately, we had to take a few hot desking places off the map because they were privately owned in the end, or I think one was a house and another was an office space. So they're the things that we do, and that's what we try and sell. And we will be selling audio and video ads to people who have YouTube and TikTok. But the difference is, with us, we won't be putting it straight on the platform, because when you put something like, unless it's Facebook's different because people share it. They don't want to have, but it might not be for everybody. If we're going to sell, for example, if we're going to sell a blog post, we won't put it on Facebook. We won't run that blog post through Facebook unless people want, you want me to run that blog post through Facebook, that same post, you run it straight through Facebook. But it all depends, because they've got a website, they know what they want it and where they want it. Some people might want to print the ad. Now, I'll stress, we do not print ads. And the reason we don't print ads is because, one, we don't have a printer. Two, we have a lot of space for a printer at the moment. And three, we're a digital advertisement company. We do digital. We decided that we were going to do digital because papers get messy. There is bad and good to everything. I'm not going to discuss that here, but we thought, and we learnt through the Panny D that, and through the lockdown, we learnt that people didn't want paper because digital was more cleaner and environmentally friendly. So we decided, well, people aren't going to bother with paper. If they want an ad printed, what we do is we print them a PDF. That's what we do. We print the PDF. So we've more or less, yes, it's still digital, but we've printed it for them, but we've printed it in a PDF. Because when you print a PDF, it's different to when you just go and convert the file to a PDF. When you print a PDF, you get a much smoother PDF file. You can also, when you view it, you can see how that file is going to be when it goes to a printer. You can see how much paper the file is going to take. When you print a PDF, you can view it properly as when you export to PDF. Anyway, that's a different matter. The matter is when people say, well, I want an ad printed, we say we do not print ads, but we will digitally print it. You will have a PDF printed. So when we give it to you in an email or through WhatsApp or however we send it to you, when you get it, you'll see, oh, well, that's in A4. In fact, when you print a PDF, you'll see on the top, it says A4 size immediately. You can actually see it. If you export, it doesn't show that. So they're the things, but I'll come to that in another video. So we're sort of giving you what you need, these specifications. So when you go to a printer, or if you print it yourself, if you go to a printer and they print it, you know that you're not spending a ludicrous amount of money on a colour printer. You're not spending, to have ads printed in colour. We always suggest to people that you print 1 or 2 ads in colour. When I've done things from other bits and pieces, I've always suggested 1 ad gets printed in colour, the rest get done in non-colour. So those are things you need to think about. So we don't print ads, but what we will do as well in the new term, if there is a company that we feel that needs an ad printing, then we'll go the extra mile, and if we're promoting something, then we'll print it then. But we don't print it. We'll go to somewhere else and print it because we know they're going to print it. We know what they're going to do. It's the skills. We don't have the skills to print. We have the skills to write. Plus, I'm visually impaired, so I don't really understand what happens when it goes to a printer. I can't see what it looks like when it goes to a printer, which is why I like to print PDF. But anyway, I'll talk about that in another video. If you want me to do a video on why we don't print and why, then anyway, this was a bit of a longer video because I had to talk about us as an agency. So we don't print, try and get more leads. We study what the clients, how they want things. It tends to be a bit difficult. So yeah, we're still learning as well. We're still learning about things and we're playing around with things. We're actually, as I shoot this video, we're working on our summer advertisements. Anyway, that's it from me anyway.
Mic trigger. Mic lock. Finish recording.